I was meeting Post Malone. All right, so the 12 hours that I spent with Devin Booker with Post Malone was truly like, if I zoom out from my own life and somebody told me the story of hanging out with Post Malone that I experienced, it sounds like it's straight out of a movie, and I'm not embellishing at all. Like, I'm not exaggerating in any way. Probably the most random 12 hours I will ever experience in my life, without a shadow of a doubt. Post seems cool as fuck. Oh, if I told you this story, you'd probably like him even more. I mean, it's still like hard to even explain what happened. Sure? Sure. I actually have the photos to prove it too. Do you have photos of Post Malone wearing the Attack on Titan 100 Thieves apparel collaboration with a Bud Light in his hand while he's standing on top of your bed in your home? And then did you sit there drinking, smoking cigarettes and weed until like 4 a.m. and he's like, yo, we gotta keep it going. I'm like, what? He's like, yo, you got a speaker? I want to play my new record. I want you guys to hear this. I'm like, oh yeah, I got a JBL speaker somewhere. He's like, actually, you know what? Let's go to the studio. I'm like, what? Like, right now? Sir, it's 4 a.m. Yeah, he's like, let's go to the stew. So we go to the studio, continue to drink and get fucked up, and he played his entire album from front to back until 6 a.m. in the morning. I mean, normally I would tell like a long-winded story and never get to the point, but I'm just gonna put it as simply as that. Post Malone is like the most humble individual I've ever met. Like, this shit was crazy. And I gotta give a shout out to It's Timmy. The only reason I met him was because Post Malone invited him to his studio. The night started at like 7 p.m. at Post Malone's studio while he was working on his album. And Timmy, earlier that day, he's like, yo, I'm gonna go hang out with Post Malone and have dinner tonight. You wanna come with? I'm like, sure. Yeah, I had other shit to do, but I thought, fuck it, I'll come with. You're welcome. So I show up to the studio. He works for a little bit. We shoot the shit, talk about video games, and then he's like, "Yo, let's go to dinner." I'm like, "All right." We go to some sushi place. I don't really eat sushi or fish, but we ordered like just a ridiculous amount of like passion fruit sake and all types of alcohol. We sat there for like an hour and a half. Post Malone literally went from like table to table saying hi to everybody, like introducing himself, taking photos. Nobody asked him to do that, but everybody was losing their minds when they saw him walk in. So I just sat there getting drunk, watching him kiss babies, just basically be a better president of the United States than we've ever had in office. And then after, he's like, yo, what do we do now? Timmy's like, well, we were going to go back to the 100 Thieves content house and drink. You want to come with? He's like, sure. Sure. We go to the house, turn on music. It's like 7 to 10 of us. Just get fucked up. End up somehow in my bedroom. He's like petting my dogs and shit. I'm like, yo, can I take a photo of this? He's like, yeah, fucking record it, brother. Do whatever you want. I'm like, all right. Turn up. And then we ended up at that studio, like I said at the beginning of the story. Wildest night of my life, honestly. It felt like it was straight out of, like, a Netflix remake of The Hangover Part 9.